sacred, that sacrifice.
I'm Campson the Untamed Oracle, and I am going to be doing a Oracle / tarot card reading. And this message is actually being illuminated by the full moon. So I'm excited to see what's coming up for this week. As you know, I have been doing these weeklies. I hope that you all are enjoying these weeklies. It's been a while, but I'm back doing weeklies right now because a lot of things are happening on this planet. I mean, we got a mothership that is obviously surveillancing Earth. So we just go get into it. I have no idea what's going to come up, but I'm going to say a quick petition to the universe, and then we're going to get started. I give thanks for everyone here. Lead me and guide me through this reading to give what the souls actually need and any messages that have been difficult for them to receive. Ashe, ashe, ashe. So mote it be. So we're going to get started today with my crystal deck. This was actually the first deck I ever got. Y'all, I jumped out of being a Hebrew Israelite and got a deck. I was scared shitless. I didn't know what was going to happen. But it was a beautiful journey. And that whole journey is on my YouTube channel. If you're watching me on the new one, it's on the old one. If you're watching me on the old one, just go back. But it was really interesting. What message do you have for those who are watching today? My. I sure look good tonight. Okay. My. What we got? Labradorite. First card, Labradorite. This is interesting because the full moon is actually in Aries. Now, let's be clear. Though I'm talking about a little bit of astrology, whenever you watch this reading, whatever message that is meant to receive for you, you're going to get that, okay? But Labradorite, one of my most favorite stones, we actually sell these stones in our shop because they help you to take action. So like the last 3 readings, we have been seeking clarity, right? Like hoping for some answers, hoping for guidance. And then last week, it was like, okay, the truth is coming out now, but the truth might be something that you're not comfortable with. And so I feel like we're being told under this energy that it's time to take action. It's time to take action on something. You know what it is. You know in your heart. What stops us from taking action a lot of times is usually the people around us, our situation, or we don't feel confident enough to take that action. And I just want to tell you, like, you're born to make mistakes. So let's just say the action that you take isn't the one that you need to take. You can step back and take a break and see what did that lesson teach you. What, it is never, and I mean that. I know it's a black and white word, but I really mean that. It is never a waste of time. As long as you learn a lesson, it is never a waste of time. So let's just say you're afraid of making a mistake. Honey, how many times before have you made mistakes and gotten through it? This time is no different. You're sitting and you're waiting. Maybe you're hoping for support. Maybe you're hoping for somebody to encourage you, to come alongside of you. But this energy right now is not about that. It's about you being able to take actions that you feel like are best for you. And I do get this feeling that maybe you feel like this specific action would be looked at as selfish. And I really get that because growing up with the specific type of traumas that I experienced with narcissistic abuse, I was often painted to be a selfish person. And I'm actually a hypersensitive person, so it's quite the opposite. And fawning happens to be my choice of coping mechanism for my traumas. So it was actually the opposite. I actually considered other people to my own detriment. Are you doing that? Do you do that? Did you used to do that? If so, that story is changing. The story is being rewritten. It's okay not only for you to make mistakes, but you're wise enough to learn the lessons that are there for you. So that's why I said you don't never take L's. All you do is win, even when it seemed like it was a mistake, because you learn from them. You grow, you evolve. It makes you a better version of you. So, like, you can't make a wrong decision. One thing that I learned from the left hand path was that because walking the middle path is like my preference, right? That's my personal preference because there's a time where it calls for you to be a warrior. That's not right hand path, love and light. That's okay. It's time for me to get down to business. I got to protect what's mine. And there is a time for you to be at peace and be calm and not do anything, right? But the middle path is about balance and about knowing when to pivot. And this is one of those moments for you. I usually don't ask questions. I just let the cards tell me what it is that they want me to share. But I just really feel like I'm supposed to pull this next card. There we go. Okay. Black obsidian. Black obsidian represents the shadow. So yeah, it's some shadow stuff going on around this. And even if you weren't made to feel like you were selfish, maybe you feel like if you take the specific action, it may change the direction of your life, your friendships, your relationships, right? That's okay. We can't live in constant fear of what may happen because it may or may not happen. It may not happen that way. But even if it does, do you really take L's? Like, be honest with yourself. Because, see, the shadow isn't just about the darkness, there is a golden shadow as well. That's the treasure that's stored within your shadow. So I feel like you're ready. You're ready for this. Whatever it is, you're ready for this. And I hear some of y'all saying, I tried this before and it didn't go the way I expected it to go. That may be true, but you aren't the same person that you was. If you're watching me, you are a totally different person than who you used to be. And here we go rhyming. So, black obsidian is also a crystal that helps to alchemize. It helps to transmute those denser, darker, negative energies. But I think this more so is about you and your own thoughts. Because sometimes we use external circumstances as an excuse to procrastinate because the shadow of what's happening is that we're really afraid that maybe our decisions might unleash chaos. Chaos is unavoidable. And if you are a woman, which that really has been my focus, the feminine, like your very essence is chaos. And it's not chaos for the purpose of destruction, it's chaos for the purpose of transmutation, of alchemy and rebirth. Think about when our earth became sustainable for life. The Big Bang can be considered as pure chaos. But look at all of the life that flourished because of it. Why do you think you're different? Why do you think that beautiful things can't come out of the shadows? And that's what this energy is all about. So I have black obsidian in my shop as well. When you work with these crystals, they often bring their messages of their own, and it helps you to really step into these energies. And so you're definitely welcome to do that. But I'm telling you, it's not going to go the way you think it's going to go. the most comforting space to be in when it's time for you to make some decisions, and take baby steps if that's what you need to do. But don't stay stuck. You're being given the green light, okay? But it's comforting when you can find a space of neutrality. I had my son ask me how to manifest, and it was like a question it caught me off guard, and I was like, okay. But one of the key things that I don't hear a lot of people talk about is infinite possibilities live in a space of neutrality. And if you could find a space of neutrality around making this decision, even if the closest you can get to that is, it may go the way I want, it may not, but all I do is win. I learn, I grow, I appreciate every difficulty that I ever went through. It created who I am today. Those little bangs and maybe those big bangs created who I am today. And I'm really loving every bit of that. And yes, there are some shadow parts that I don't like, but I can learn how to love myself despite those things. That's neutrality. Don't let yourself get so emotionally charged in a negative way by your own thoughts, your own criticism, your own doubt, maybe your lack of confidence. Maybe you even have people that say things to you like, that's stupid. That's not going to work. Haven't you tried that before? And you don't have to put what they're saying as a deposit into the bank of you. Maybe it's time for you to make some withdrawals and give them their stuff back and start choosing what you want to invest in you. Okay, we go keep moving because I feel like it's more to come, but I feel like that was a lot of guidance right there. That was a lot of guidance, and that was a lot of great information that can be used. So we're gonna go to Isis next because I'm really interested in what she's gonna say about all of this. Whoever this message is for, like you've been sitting and you've been doing a lot of stuff to get ready. She ready, honey. You are ready. You are ready. And it don't matter which way things go, you can handle whatever is coming your way. Mm, look at that. Hmm. Look at how ready she looks. She looks so ready for this. She looks so confident. And not a false confidence, like confident in her divinity. False confidence is like when we're confident in our identity, right? Our ego, the roles, the things that we know that we do well. But when you're confident about your divinity, when you're confident about your relationship with spirit, that right there is the secret sauce. And you can get a lot done by being confident with the ego, especially on the old earth. But on the new earth, there's a new currency. And so the goal is to cultivate that deeper spiritual connection so that you're confident from a place of divinity and not a place of identity. And that means that it just might be you doing something that you didn't think that you could do, or being something you didn't think that you could be. But I feel like the bridge that you're hoping for before you take the next step, that bridge is going to appear as you plan and take those baby steps. That bridge is going to appear before you. I see this so clearly. This card says you have a special spiritual relationship with the angelic worlds. Part of your soul purpose is to birth angelic consciousness and values such as fearlessness, compassion, and service into the human culture. This oracle brings you angelic assistance, intervention, and confirmation too. Now, Trippy, I never wear these earrings, but today these angel earrings was really speaking to me. So, I mean, I can't make this up. And y'all saw me shuffle. This is how spirit speaks. You see what I mean? Such small things like choosing a pair of earrings. And I had no idea the spirit was speaking. That was the bridge being built as I was moving through the motions of moving towards doing this reading. And I am simply a mirror for you. That's so beautiful. And so, my thing is, when you do start to move this way, you create more synchronicities as you go, and you become more confident as you go because you start to feel like the universe is conspiring for your breakthrough, is conspiring for the things that you desire. You no longer feel like the universe is trying to take something away from you or hurt you. And a lot of us, because of childhood trauma, this ability to tap into the angelic consciousness, because it's a very childlike consciousness, right? And so a lot of us believed in a lot of things until other people started telling us those things weren't real. What do you feel is real, but you were programmed to believe it wasn't? It could be something like fairies. That was something that I, like 100% with all of my heart, knew how real fairies were. They would come and take me to their realm. And I was going through such a hard time as a child. So when I would dream about them, I would spend the entire night that I would sleep in their realm. And it literally got me through life until I started telling other people, and people was like, that's TV, that's cartoons, that's not real, you know. And then eventually that consciousness left me, so those experiences also left me. But when I went back to Sedona, Arizona, and visited the vortexes and went up in the mountains and did some ceremonies, I shade to the high priestess, is my sis who helped me, you know who you are. But I reconnected with that part of myself, that childlike part of myself that is angelic consciousness. And they started to show up again. And they started to show up in pictures. They started to show up on our Ring app. They started to show up in our nanny cam videos for our children, just in the house. And yeah, they can be tricksters. They can, you know, they do things like hide your jewelry and hide your socks and hide your wife and hide your kids. No, they don't do all of that. I hope not. I ain't never had that experience. But, you know, they do stuff. But it wasn't, you know, anything like to cause harm. And ironically, I have on my fairy necklace today. None of this was planned. I didn't plan any of this. I took action. I trusted that I was ready to take action, and I'm being supported. So sometimes by you believing more in yourself, like you did when you was a child, whoever broke you, broke your heart, broke your self-trust, broke your self-confidence, broke down your self-worth, you can politely tell them to kiss your ass and leave that shit behind. As we used to say back in the 80s, your ass is grass. And I have no idea what that meant, but we used to say that. But maybe it's time for you to do that. And maybe it's time for you to prioritize what you believe about you and start cultivating the ability for you to trust yourself again. Because ultimately, I'm a Libra sun. So I am the queen of indecision, let me tell you. But ultimately, the more I cultivate my intuition, the more I cultivate my ability to trust myself, to trust that even if I'm making a bad decision, quote unquote, because I do not believe in bad, it's either what's harmful or what's beneficial. There's no good and bad. These labels of morality cause human suffering. And that's another video for another time. I can go on and on and on about that. But the more I cultivated my self trust, that, okay, whatever happens after this, like I trust that I can handle it. It helps me to make decisions. And watching videos like this helps you to make decisions. So I hope you're letting this percolate. Oh, my angel. I need my angel back. I hope you're letting this percolate, okay? And letting this get down in your system, all right? I guess that was a sign too. My angel was like, baby, I got wings. But just let this marinate, and hopefully as we head towards the end of this week's reading, you'll know, like, okay, it is time for me to take some action. And even if that's just writing it down, right? Reading it before you fall asleep tonight, fall to bed. Don't fall to bed. You probably fall in the bed. Because I do feel some exhaustion. I do. But I think a lot of it is mentally you being stuck and going back and forth. So write it down. Get it out of here. Create some freed up space. Okay? And give it over to your I divine self, to your ascended ancestors, to your spirit guides. If you're working with goddesses like I do, give it over to them. Whatever resonates as a higher spiritual consciousness for you. And just see what happens. Just see what happens. Okay. Now, I was not planning on pulling these today, but I took them out just in case. Just in case I get home tonight. Okay. We go pull from these. This is my African Goddess Rising deck, which I love, love, love so much. She put so much love into this deck. I feel like all of my decks got a lot of love in them, but yeah, this is special. When this deck first came into my life, I was ready to be more committed to this journey. I didn't want to be a human woman anymore. Just a human. I mean, I'm only human, right? Until I'm not. And I was ready to step into the divinity of the goddesses that live within me. This deck has helped me so much. This ain't about me, it's about you. So what is it that you need to hear? Mm. Mm. Okay. Mm. 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 Mama Kumba bang. Bang bang. Honey. What? Like, okay. What is it that you have been not saying? What is it that you have been holding back? What is it that you haven't been proclaiming? Look, are you afraid to feel like you that girl? Because maybe in the past things will happen and it's almost like this fear of being on a pedestal, right? You don't want to feel like you riding a high horse. But baby, you are what you are. You are so unique and so incredible just like you are. So it's like this is not about arrogance. This is about authenticity, right? And what is it that you're not saying? Because whatever it is that you're not saying, that's going to keep you stuck. That's going to keep you stuck. If you look at this image, like they got their fists in the air in the background. And I feel like it's so much injustice happening in the world right now. I feel like people have been persecuted for speaking up. You in your past life were persecuted for speaking up. If that resonates with you, um, I lost my life a few times for speaking up, but I've also lost my life for not speaking up. Only you know if it's a truth that you've been swallowing. And that affects your physical body. That doesn't just affect your relationships and your reality, but that affects the rhythm within your physical body, your circadian rhythm. Like what's been going on with your heart? Because I feel like maybe something been going on with your heart. I don't know if maybe your heart rate been weird. Or maybe you get tired faster than you used to. I don't know. I feel like it's some physical things that have been happening, and it's your body is communicating to you that it's safe. It's time. Maybe that's one of the actions to take is to speak up. And speaking up isn't for everybody else. It's for you. It's for you. So she is the goddess of speaking up. Her origins are Senegal. Her element is the water, and her temple is the griots. You've been in the rough spot, okay? You've been there. You've been in between plenty of rocks and hard places. You got what it takes. You know what truths it is time for you to own up to live, and to accept. And again, this is more so about you. But Mama Kumba Bang, she protects the mouth of the Senegal River. And when making an offering to her, you must not speak to anyone else coming or going if you choose to do so. You can sing a song for her and chant for her or just call out to her. But give Goddess Kumba your voice and she'll be happy. Speak up, speak out, speak on it. You have a right to be heard. I don't know why I feel like I'm speaking to somebody who has spent some nights in tears over something. And there's just this anxiety, this fear and this heaviness that I feel coming over me. And I feel like maybe you feel like nobody really cares to hear what you have to say. And that could be a fact. But do you care what you have to say? And do you put more focus on what you have to say? Or are you focused on how other people are going to react when you say what it is that you have to say? In order for you to embody this, say it to yourself first, you know. Otherwise, you betray yourself when you don't speak up. It says your words have power. Own your voice. As the old saying goes, stand up for something or fall for anything. Is that why I was talking about bed falling? I don't even know where it came from, but no, you're not falling for anything. Being neutral right now may not be an option. Neutral as in trying to keep the peace. Hurting, but you're hurting yourself trying to keep the peace. If you learn a way to keep peace without hurting yourself, that's different, right? That's the whole purpose of shadow work and self-mastery. But I feel like it's been hurting you. When you stand firmly in your truth, you have thoughts, opinions, beliefs, and convictions. What do you stand for? Tell somebody today. I reclaim my voice. I speak out and I speak up. And I love that because maybe this has been happening in reverse. Maybe you have been speaking down towards yourself and about yourself. And most likely, when that happens, the universe mirrors that back to us through people, places, and things where we feel like we're being looked down upon or people just speak down to us. So just practice this. It could be something as simple as needing help. And maybe you're the kind of person you have a hard time asking for help. Speak up. Like, okay, I need some help. I can't handle this by myself. I need some help. And the help may or may not show up in the form of what you want it to. But if you never ask, you'll never receive. A closed mouth don't get fed. So go ahead and say what needs to be said. I'm not trying to rhyme. Okay. But Mama Kumba Bang, she obviously showed up for a reason, and I wasn't going to even use this deck. So, if this is your first time hearing about the goddess of Senegal who protects the river, think about what the mouth of a river does. It provides nourishment, right? Your words are nourishing. Even if you think it's something that somebody don't want to hear, your words are nourishing. We can nourish people with the truth, even if it's uncomfortable. They may or may not see the benefit of it. They may or may not want to hear it. But it's going to nourish you to be able to speak the truth to yourself and maybe even to somebody else. And I do feel like one of those things is maybe you do need some help. Maybe some support. I know for me, I was at a point in my life where I was really, really working to heal from the fawn response. That's one of my main coping mechanisms from the complex PTSD. I'm usually not a fight. That's not my instant coping mechanism. It's either flight or fawn or freeze. But when I really started to work on breaking those codes of codependency that was so trapped within my subconscious mind, the goddesses really helped me to do that in a way where I wasn't trying to intellectualize myself into being different. I wanted to be able to embody it and hold the energetic signature of someone who was able to speak up for themselves. Because otherwise, we invite abuse into our life and we attract people who have abusive qualities, and even if it's just something like reactive abuse. I've been very transparent about that. I've experienced that. And I've done so much work on myself that that should get neutralized. If it happens, it's getting neutralized quickly. And the course turned pain into purpose, and it ain't nothing but like what, $50, y'all, something like that on the website. But in that course, like I give you prompts, conversational prompts that you can use to neutralize and disarm certain situations, and that help me to not have to withhold my truth so much. I learned how to communicate it and speak it in a way that was empowering for me, but that also protected me. And sometimes it's just people's unconscious that be coming for you. It ain't always conscious. One of the things is that things are always personal, and they're not always personal. But your words are powerful, and your words are worth their gold. No, they're worth their weight in gold. Yeah, they worth their weight in gold. Okay. And just think about a time where maybe somebody spoke up and said something to you, and maybe it wasn't what you wanted to hear, but later you found value in it. And I feel like that's true for you. And I feel like maybe sometimes you're so far ahead or you're so deep that people don't see the value that you bring until like later on. And who's to say? Later on could be when your ass is gone, bye bye. And if that's what needs to happen, it's what needs to happen. But it's like, don't ever settle for living in a way that's hurting you, trying to give somebody else comfort of your silence. It's not worth it. And if something transpires as a result of you sharing your truth and you share it in a loving, respectful way, even if it's what they don't want to hear, you're not responsible for other people's reactions. And you can free yourself from that. Ooh, I felt like this was going to be a deep one today. I did. Thank you. Give thanks for this word today. All right. What is it? Important to be known. Oh, we. Is it you? It's you. Okay. All right. Yep. Yep. So I pull the Page of Cups. And I feel like the reason that I pulled this was because you have not been feeling as emotionally stable as you would like to. You have been under stress, and the way that you feel is valid. The emotions that you feel, they're valid. Like, it's okay to not always be okay. We live in a world that makes us feel like we have to always be on. We have to always be okay. We have to always be optimistic. I mean, it's a fear of being anything other than that really destroys us manifesting the things that we desire to manifest. We don't even give ourselves a moment to like be with whatever emotion is asking for our attention. And emotional instability is not the result of sitting with your emotions. It's the result of trying to ignore them or numb them, or maybe you have been gaslit and invalidated by somebody else so much where you don't even know if your emotions are valid. You like, am I crazy? It's like, maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I just lost my mind. No, that's not. No, no. You have not lost your mind, but you are now tuning into your heart. And the language of the heart is feelings. And your feelings are unfreezing. They're melting. And I think I brought up the crying. You know, this is when your feelings start melting. Things start to finally move that had solidified and just sat inside of you. You know, and I want you to know that whoever or whatever, whether you got some bad news or something happened or a situation transpired or a conversation, but I just feel like your innocence been under attack to the point where you start to question whether or not you the villain. You like, maybe I am the villain. Maybe, but I don't feel that from you. I feel like you're so empathic and you're so hypersensitive to energy. Um, it's the opposite. And it is quite possible that whoever has made you to feel like you lack innocence, it's almost like you're often being misunderstood, and the real intention behind the things that you say and that you do it's not clear for some reason. It's not landing exactly how it is. It's almost like people or this person, like they can't see you for who you really are. And it could be a lot of blame going on. And like you getting blamed for stuff that you don't even feel like deep down inside you don't feel like you did something that was worthy of being blamed. But these patterns, and these are psychic imprints lingering over from your childhood. I need you to really hear me when I say this. But these psychic imprints that are being mirrored back to you, they're only showing up to help you heal, to help you move past them, not to keep you there. You are not trapped. It don't matter how many times a situation has happened, you are not trapped. You are not trapped. I need you to say this to yourself. Lay your hand on your heart and say, I'm not trapped. I'm not trapped. And this goes back to, I was talking about the child-like aspect of you. That is innocence. But children also are a little bit chaotic. A little bit. Some of them, you'd be like, are you the spawn? But that's just them in their primal energy. It's not personal. So this is not personal. Now the growth from this, that's personal. Okay? The spiritual growth from this, that is personal. That is a gift showing up for you. When you get in a space where you start to see other situations and people as a gift to you, especially when they're hurtful or misbehaving, and you can position yourself in a safe space of neutrality, you can put up a psychic shield of protection by the way that you talk to yourself, the way that you think, the way that you treat yourself, the way that you nurture yourself. People become less influential to your psychic inner world, and they lack the ability to influence the way you feel about you. And that's what this is about. You are very intuitive, and you are also, like, I just get this artistic, creative, like you got a lot of these things. But I just feel like you haven't really even been investing in these things like you would like to, because it's just been so much strain where you really hadn't felt free to do this. Fuck it. Fuck it. It's just like, fuck it. Put it in the fuck it bucket. All right? Make your fuck it bucket. Little bitty pieces of papers or posties. You can have a fuck it chapter in your journal. And just start jotting down some stuff that you just want to be like, you know what? I can't control this. I have absolutely no control over this. So fuck it. I'm putting it in the fuck it bucket. I can't control it. And spend that time doing something creative. For me, I like to play my handpan or my sound bowls or my shamanic drum, or I like to write songs. I like to write poetry. Just pulling out my coloring pencils sometimes and coloring. Like these things, they create a protective psychic shield around me. But a lot of times it's like if I'm moody and I'm feeling like I really can't get in that space, I'll find something to watch that's like fantasy based, and it helps to still connect me with that energy. And a lot of times I'll go from that to actually doing something with my own hands that's creative. I ain't trying to get y'all on the bandwagon, but I'm just gonna say, like Asian romance, fantasy dramas, Wuxia, um, Ashes of Love was so good. The Untamed, like when they start off, it started off so innocent, almost kiddie, almost where you feel like I'm too old to be watching this. These grown folks dressed in these costumes, and then the story get deep and it oftentimes get dark and it be told in such a creative way. And I love the way narcissists are depicted with empaths. Sometimes it's like a vampiric type of relationship, and it helps you to have a positive reframe on something that you may be experiencing. Like for me, watching TV is not like just entertainment. Like I'm still doing spiritual work even when I'm watching TV. I mean, I'm a spiritual being, so I've practiced so much to make sure that everything that I do has some element of my divinity included. And it's just, I don't know, it feels good. And so find what feels good for you, you know, and dig in and do that. Cause I do feel like whoever been messing with you, they about to be having a little bit of a rough time. They are. They are. And you can't save them from themselves. Let them learn their own lessons if they choose to. But again, how other people react is not your responsibility. We're gonna pull another card. That was good. That was really good. Mm, I appreciate that. Okay, 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 okay. That's what I'm talking about. I pulled the Four of Wands, y'all. The Four of Wands. Like, okay, let me say this. Sometimes, sometimes we are feeling so unsafe inside of our own nervous system that it's hard for us to believe and receive the harvest that has actually already been queued up with your name on it. But it's like I have gotten so familiar with being in survival mode that I really don't I can't even imagine anything else. I just I don't maybe it's just not for me. Maybe I'm just not gonna have success in this way. Maybe, maybe it's just not a harvest for me. Maybe prosperity is just not for me, it's for all them other people. Mm, no, it's for you. It's for you. It's got your name on it. And it's ready to be signed, sealed, and delivered, baby. Like this, you can't go wrong with the Four of Wands. Okay? Like I just feel like no matter how unstable things may look, can't nobody stop what's coming to you. You deserve it. This ain't even about earning it. Because we're moving away from having to earn, right? That's so capitalistic, patriarchal, masculine, like earn, you gotta work hard, you gotta break your back, you gotta slave and break yourself down to have this. No, I'm gonna allow. I'm gonna be attractive to the things that I desire. The things that I desire me. The resources that I require will acquire me because we go so well together. This is that new internal dialogue to nurture that. When I look at the Four of Wands, I ask myself, like, what is the internal dialogue about? You know? And maybe you've been seeing 44 a lot. Maybe you've been waking up at 4 o'clock or 444. Um, but things are about to settle down. That things are in the process of settling down for you. For some of y'all, this could actually be a stable relationship. For some of y'all, this could be just a more harmonious experience with your own body. Because a lot of us, especially since like the whole pandemic situation, a lot of us have had these different experiences with our body, and have dealt with just not feeling well or not feeling like ourselves. I mean, it seems like the food is different, something has changed, stuff don't taste the same. I mean, all of these things have happened, right? But whether I could pull this four of wands in reverse or not, like, it's great energy. Honey, you deserve this. You deserve this. You deserve your cake. Sugar free, hopefully, because we talked about that sugar. Okay, I talk about it often when y'all see my pop-up videos, and I'm channeling whatever it is that's important to know energetically. But like, you can have your cake and eat it too, so to speak. You can. You absolutely can. But you must cultivate that internal dialogue with yourself that you can have this. This is peace. This is heart chakra energy. You see, when you heal your heart chakra, and we've been talking about this, right? But when you heal your heart chakra, the heart is a magnet. It's magnetic. When the heart is broken, and when you feel like you don't deserve the things that you desire, you're not worthy, you attract people, places, and things that mirror that back to you. But as you heal the heart is like an organ that can heal infinite amounts of times. No matter how many times I've been heartbroken about something, I've healed every single time. Every single time. The heart is an organ that regenerates. And nothing can break you beyond repair as long as you know that your heart is there. As long as you know that you love yourself and for yourself you truly care. And the things that you desire, even if you don't know where to look, those things will just start to show up for you. Opportunities will show up for you. People will show up for you, even without asking. People will start to just want to show up for you. The heart is magnetic from 3 feet or more, depending on how much work you have done with the heart. Heart brain coherence. I'm talking about the internal dialogue. As you heal the internal dialogue, the heart and the brain become aligned with each other. So now you have electric energy and magnetic energy working together, conspiring with you to bring you this fo. I see it every day. Some think I'm crazy, so I'm like, touche. Okay? Like, yes, this is it. This card literally says yes. So, what's on the other side of action? This is on the other side of action for you. That was so beautiful. Thank you for that. Okay. So, I gave y'all a lot, but I do like to use my self care deck as well. Um, I've had some amazing sisters, amazing people send me gifts, and I just want to give a shout out to y'all and thank y'all. I really appreciate y'all for that. Like, it be the smallest simple things sometimes that people do, and it really means a lot. And this is one of those decks that I probably would have never bought for myself. I didn't even think I needed it. I'm like, I got that self-care thing in the bag, baby. I got this. But I've learned so much. So what self-care is going to help? All right, here we go. Listing high frequency emotions. It says our emotions are a guide to our inner world and vibrational set point. Negative emotions, when held for a long time, can impact our body and mind. Pre programming our vibrational set point is a great way to train ourselves to move away from negative emotions and toward positive ones. Here's the self-care practice. Grab some beautifully colored pens and paper. List all of the emotions that you want to feel as your future self. As you write down each one, put a lot of intention into it. Put intention to writing it beautifully. This is a simple mindfulness technique that combines visualization with emotional pre programming to raise your vibrational set point. A question that you can ask yourself is, how do I want to feel? Do I pre-pave my emotional set point? So important. I love this. I love this. So, and look at her. She's like in her comfortable blankie. If you like me, a heating blanket. And she got her tea, and she's just sitting in her bed, just doing her thing, bathing herself in high frequency emotions. So the goal is to focus less on the negative ones that you may be experiencing. You've done enough of that. You are an expert at that. You don't need any help with that at all. You got that under control. So do I'm great at that. Um, but the positive emotions and how I want to feel, focus on that. How do you want to feel? And one of my favorite colors to use when I do this is pink. I don't know what it is. Pink, fuchsia, green. Those colors really like get my creative juices flowing. And I get real creative about how I want to feel. Like, you can start basic, that's okay. But see how deep you can go with that. Because if you're good at worrying, if anxiety is a baseline set point for you because you worry so much, you're just swinging the pendulum the other way. And worry, it does involve creativity. So does anxiety, because oftentimes it's something that hasn't even happened yet. Great emotions, maybe they haven't happened yet. But if you make investment, if you set intentions to feel those things, guess what? Those things are going to happen. The same way we can worry about something so much that it wasn't going to happen, but now it happens because we've spent so much time ruminating about it. And so you want to reverse ruminate, right? I call this the positive reframe practice. You want to ruminate on positive things and just sitting and writing those things. And I remember like I used to write like bubble letters. So sometimes I'll start the first letter off of the word in a bubble letter. It's something that just takes me back to the 80s where like bubble letters, I don't know, was that an 80s thing? It feel like it was, but like an 80s and 90s thing. It was a lot of graffiti, and I used to love writing the S's and the bubble letters, and they kind of would be stacked close to each other. I don't know, it was just something so juicy and delicious about writing that way. Like fonts matter. Businesses spend a lot of money and intention on the font that they use, and it actually alters the outcome of the business. So yeah, it's no different. Energy is energy. Okay, that's beautiful. Okay, it's time for Mama Kali Oracle deck. What message do you have for us for this week? Mm. Heart chakra energy is like really coming through today. Like I have pulled, I'm gonna show y'all. Just hold up. But just know that the heart is like, baby, what are we doing? Like, I love you. I remember every heartbreak, everything that you went through. I'm here for you. I got you. Like, you can trust me. I got you. I'm looking out for you. Love that. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful heart chakra energy. This is Anahata Kali. And I'm going to read this card to you. So beautiful. And as you can see, it's number 33. And hopefully I don't forget. Come back to it. My plan is to come back to it. Okay. But that 33 showed up twice today. It says, beautiful, powerful mother of sacred universal heart, who lives within our hearts as the wisdom and healing power of love. Your heart knows how to heal and how to open, how to break and repair itself to become stronger and wiser than before. Your heart cannot be contained or constrained by what has taken place. Your heart, wisdom, and empowerment are growing. Soon, you shall have the wisdom and courage to accomplish something very important for your soul's journey. Trust in the invisible workings of divine love. Let your heart be at peace. That's an action word. Letting is like a passive action, it's a state of allowing. And I was just talking about the heart and how the heart can regenerate and repair itself before I even pull this card. The journey of the soul is a journey from the head to the heart. Anahata is the Sanskrit name for the heart chakra. Anahata Kali is the goddess who secures the awakening, transformation, and liberation of the heart. Love is her expression. When Kaliman touches the heart, it becomes capable of love that is increasingly unconditional, fearless, and compassionate. Such empowerments often manifest through loss and betrayal. Did you hear that? See, we think we be going through that stuff like it's taking us in the opposite direction. It's not. It's intended to take you exactly where it is that you are divinely meant to be. It is divinely orchestration for you to land where you are supposed to land. And when you start to look at things like that, even when people betray you, you'd be like, you just moved me one step closer to where I'm supposed to be. Thank you. I appreciate you. I really do. I really do. And they're probably going to think that you're being sarcastic, and maybe you are a little bit, because I am the queen of sarcasm as well. But, it takes intelligence to be sarcastic, okay? To be witty, to be quick, all right? To pop your shit, right? You're like, no, I'm not going to even let this bother me. No, actually, gratitude, appreciation. I appreciate you. What you appreciate me for? I just said something to you that usually would have hurt your feelings or upset you or da 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 da. I learned something today. I learned that even when it seems like things are taking me in the opposite direction, it never really is. We live in a world of illusion. This is a simulated reality. I'm always moving in the direction my soul is supposed to be moving in, regardless of how it looks. And so I'm grateful. Say your piece, honey. Speak your truth. Okay, Mama Kuma, bang, bang, bang. All right, let me. Y'all got me excited. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. So, in responding to such challenges, we grow our heart's capacity for love, processing, and healing emotions of grief, betrayal, and anger. Our heart becomes stronger through the process. The human heart is capable of overcoming enormous negativity. It is an astonishingly powerful and beautiful temple of spirit. We can underestimate the extraordinary power of the heart by focusing on its sweetness, love, and light as though they were weaker than anger, fear, or the consuming intensity of grief. We can only begin to understand the spiritual worlds and how they operate when we let go of the human perspective. A human believes that the heavier and denser something is, the more powerful it is. A heavy emotion like anger or physical situations that appears gridlocked are given more weight than the intangible realms of spirit. Yet spirit is behind all things, in all things. Being invisible does not impede its effectiveness. If anything, it enhances it. For something so seemingly invisible, love has unconquerable power. We affirm this in expressions such as love can move mountains or love will always find a way. Yet we are conditioned to believe that there is more power in what we can see and control rather than the spiritual power of love. Such conditioning pulls away from heart connection and into the fear based belief system that we need to control things or there will be no benefit, no safety, no happiness. However, we can never be safe if we are disconnected from the spiritual home of the heart, where all healing, wisdom, true guidance, spiritual protection, and regenerating vitality resides. The backlog of emotional pain stored in our hearts can sometimes cause us to shut down, even when we know that in closing down our hearts, we lose out on love's joy and wisdom. We may go through the motions of living, but without the real emotional juice and revitalizing engagement with life. Kali Anahata brings a message from the Divine Mother that she is supporting you in healing your heart. She wants you to connect to more profound joy in life. As you trust yourself, we talked about that, and trust in her, you can heal even long-term karmic scars. We talked about that. You can learn to return to love, to be in love, to live the love within your ever beautiful heart. For those who live from the heart space, it can be hard to remember what it was like before. Yet many still live in such a way, driven by fear, plagued with anxiety, hardened through living in a way that is oppressive to the spirit. The oracle asks you to acknowledge how far you have come and where you would like to go. Not so much in terms of external markers, but in terms of emotional freedom. If you have been focusing on healing specific issue in your life, the oracle indicates you have the strength, wisdom, and courage of heart to accomplish that. For those who have had their heart broken in love in spiritual communities, by friends or family members, by God or life itself, the message here is that something deeper is taking place. The shattering of structures, even of ideals, gives the heart the opportunity to break free and open up to a greater and more satisfying experience and expression of love, becoming non-defensive, softening, and opening to spirit with unconditional trust places you in a position of astonishing protection, empowerment, and grace. We talked about that. Keep your heart open to the Divine Mother. Through that openness, the right things shall emerge at the right time. The walls we build around our hearts need to be broken down so we can fulfill our sacred purpose and path. Trust that the pains of your past do not have a place in your future. No matter what appears to be, she knows the way through. Temper your fierce emotions without denying them. Keep bringing yourself back to your center. Continue to find the moderate and peaceful resting place within, even as you make radical progress on your path. The oracle predicts the successful completion of a time of spiritual initiation. Grace yourself with the gift of relief and trust that all is well. We talked about this. We literally talked about this. All of this. We talked about this. So beautiful. I love how I love how at the closing of these readings it's like it sums up everything and then adds some more secret sauce to it. So here's the invocation, and I love to end my readings with an invocation because an invocation is an invitation for embodiment of a new consciousness. And oftentimes, this is the step that we miss in manifestation. You can rest your hands over your heart and just sense, feel, or intend to make a heart connection with yourself. Take a deep breath because we've been on a journey today, y'all. Let yourself feel held, loved, protected, seen, and cherished. Allow yourself to feel a heart connection with Kali. Your heart and hers are gently spinning in loving and playful dance with each other. Whatever you need to say to her, be it a prayer, a concern, or just a feeling of gratitude, do so now. Speak to her from your heart. Place your hands in prayer at your heart and repeat this mantra several times, feeling your heart connection with her deepening as you do so. And it don't have to be long, you know. It's about the feeling. It's about the sincerity. It's about the connection. And so the mantra that you can use to connect with her is really simple. Ja, Ma, Kali. And just sing it, speak it. However, remember your words are powerful. And allow yourself to be soothed by her presence within your heart as it becomes strong and radiant, shining love for the spiritual benefit of all beings. And you can finish by bowing your head to your hands in prayer. You have completed your ritual. This was such a sweet way to sum up this week's reading. And I'm going to say this. Energetically speaking, when we are scattered, a lot of us got a lot of ADHD characteristics, maybe even autism. Sometimes it can be hard to focus on one thing. Sometimes because we were codependent and people pleasers, we attracted a lot of things in our reality that have a constant demand for our attention. We have social media, phone notifications, emails, text messages. I mean, back in the day, I just had a pager. Like, if you beat me, you still had to wait till I got to a phone to get back to you. And so I had time and space to be with whatever I was with in the present moment. And we have less of that now. And so in that scattering, the energy becomes scattered and we lose our center. And this is why I have been saying this. I've done the work, like all the things. I don't think it's anything that anyone could mention to me that I haven't tried or done on this spiritual awakening journey of being a cycle breaker, right? But if I don't move the actual energy and maneuver the imprints within my fascia, within my body, the connective tissue that's holding on to this energy, that's holding on to these memories, that remembers every time I've been betrayed and betrayed myself, that remembers every time I have swallowed my truth. And it manifests as tension in the face and in the jaws. Sometimes I don't even know it's there until I do these somatic exercises that I teach in the coven. Speaking your truth is difficult. You can't intellectualize your way into that. That's something that's going to require the energetics of feeling physically, using your hands and your body physically to maneuver yourself into certain positions to release the tension, to release the stress. And it's not just this lifetime, it's previous lifetimes. And it's not just you, it's the generations before you. You were the one that said, I'm going to release the stress and the tension that many generations have held on to. It was you. And, I find that myofascia work, somatic therapy, it's been the missing piece. So today I'm gonna be posting the jaw release ritual that I use every single day, and it has helped me so much to not only be able to speak my truth, but to be able to release the stress of all the years that I didn't, and all of the people, places, and things that came into my life who did not have the capacity to appreciate my truth. So if that's resonating with you, I'm going to put that link in the description as well. Now, I said I was going to tell you something before I ended this reading, and I did not forget. But Anahata Kali is 33. And also, Mami Kumba Bang is 33. 33 is a master builder number. When you combine the energies, this is not just a reading, this is a transference of energy. Okay? You are building something. You are building something that is meant to last beyond even your lifetime. You are leaving a legacy. You are creating a new imprint. You are building a foundation of stability, right? With the Four Wands, harvest, success. It's not always about the immediate results, but it's those results that come later. So maybe the 4-4 has been showing up for you, but maybe you're going to start noticing the 3 and the 33 and the 333 from here on out, because you are a master builder. You are. And you are laying a new foundation. And if nobody else told you, I just want to tell you, like, congratulations. You survived some of the most difficult cycles here on earth. And now you're headed into thrival. You are. You're headed into thrival. So I want to thank y'all for joining me for this week. I'll be back next week. I would love to hear from you. Like, did this reading speak to you? What spoke to you the most? And for those of you who want to do the energetic work and the goddess embodiment, right now there are only 2 things, 2 assignments in the free coven. And if you're watching me and you're already in the coven and you haven't done the 2 assignments, do those 2 assignments. Post and say, hey, I'm devoted to doing these 2 things, and stick with it. I want you to have the transformation that you deserve. I do not want us to continue talking about it and not able to experience the other side of what happens when we stay devoted and when we stick with something. A lot of us have stuck with people, relationships. We have stuck with careers. We have stuck with jobs. We have stuck with toxic dynamics. We have stuck with toxic family members, toxic friends. We have even stuck with toxic ways of treating our own body. When was the last time you stuck with something that was positive just for you? That's what Campson's Sacred Sister Coven is for. All right, y'all. I will see y'all next week. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Like, that helps me so much. And it lets me know that what I'm doing matters and it's inspiring others and helping them. So don't be shy. Just hit the button. It's free. It ain't gonna cost you nothing. It ain't like just do that. And if you find yourself unsubscribed, just keep subscribing back to me again. But yeah, I'm gonna put all of the links for all of the things. If you want to get the labradorite and the obsidian crystal, you can do that in my shop. Super affordable, great quality, ethically sourced, all that good stuff. Yes, and we will be back next week. See, y'all had me put my red dress on and stuff for y'all today. I was like, oh, is this what we doing today? This reading was like everything that I did not expect and more. All right, y'all. Peace.
Yeah. Higher, I take you higher. Higher. Yeah. Yeah. I got this sacred, that sacred fire.